The Senate today is about to vote to accept a rotten, partisan continuing resolution rather than shut down the United States government. And some Democrats will vote to make that possible, which means the Democrats across the country will get into a big quarrel about the question of who should have voted for which. That is the wrong question and the wrong quarrel. We were faced with this foul choice because Trump and his Republicans forced that choice. They gave us the choice only between a shutdown, which would give immense, unbridled, near total power to Trump and Musk, and leave it up to them when the shutdown ended, or take a fake continuing resolution in which they baked horrible things, frankly in the hopes that we might fight for the shutdown. This was a false choice. It was set up by Trump and Musk. And if Democrats quarrel with each other over who should have voted for what, we're missing the point and we're taking our eye off the ball.
Morning, y'all, man. Y'all come have a morning cup of joe with me while I tell y'all why this Democratic Party is trash. The government shutdown. Got to avoid it again. It got to avoid it again because the Democratic Party has become pretty much spineless. They will continue to give in. Continue. This video is not about if you agree with the Democratic side or the Republican side, if the bill should not have passed. This video and my rant is about how can you convince the people as a Democratic Party that you are willing to do and take the sacrifices necessary to make sure you accomplish your promises to the people on your side. Because we already know Trump and the Republican parties are willing to do it, right? Everybody on the Democratic Party side said that this bill was trash. Even the Democrats that voted for this bill to pass to keep the government open said that this bill was trash. Yet and still they voted for it. Why? Because they are spineless. The Republican Party are doing things that they know are going to shake up the economy, that they know is going to hurt the American people. And when they were asked, why would they do such a thing? They stood on business. They flat out said, hey, we know this is going to hurt for a little bit. And our people are willing to hurt for a short term, for the long haul, for the positive things that we think is going to happen from our actions in the foreseeable future.
There could be some temporary short-term disruption, and people will understand that.
The Democratic Party side ain't doing that. And the fact, I sit somewhere in the middle, right? I'm not going to lie. I'm registered as a Republican. But as I got older, I got a little bit more educated, I end up going right there in the center. Like there are some things I agree with on the Republican side. There's some things a lot of things I agree with on the Democratic Party side. But what I do notice with both is that the Republican side has become more of the aggressive side of politics. And those are the things that people want to see because people want to feel like their politicians now are everyday people, which you shouldn't. I think that's the most idiotic thing ever. You should hold your politicians to a higher standard. You shouldn't want your president to talk like you. There's a reason why you're not president. But that's a whole different subject. Let's stay focused. When it comes to the government shutdown, the Democratic side still want to worry about who they're going to upset. Who are we going to piss off? What demographic of people are we going to piss off today? And they don't want to do that. Well, I take that back. For some reason, the women on the Democratic side are standing on business. They have a spine, but the men are breaking down. Even after this vote to keep it open in the Democrats, the 7, I think it was like 7 to 9 of them, I'll start posting their pictures now. The ones that voted to keep it open, when Jeffries, and Jeffries is the one person that I advocated for, and now he has me worrying about him. When asked about Schumer, he basically said, I'm not answering any questions. I'm not answering any questions. I'm not answering any questions.
Is it time for new leadership in the Senate? Next question.
Senator Chuck Schumer is from your state. He clearly has a different view of this than you. He is not saying let's go back to the negotiating table. He's saying let's take this vote. So have you lost confidence in him, the fact that you guys see this so differently?
Next question.
You have dodged multiple times questions about whether you have confidence right now in Chuck Schumer. Can I just, to clarify here, none of you are willing to say at this point that you have confidence in Chuck Schumer as leader?
You keep engaging in these parlor games because you want to take the focus off the American people. What we're saying is we look forward to continuing to work with our Senate colleagues, all of them, in opposition to the extremism that's being unleashed on the American people. But the focus right now is on everyday Americans, on children, on families, on veterans, on the people that we are fighting for, who Donald Trump and House Republicans are intentionally trying to hurt.
Answer the questions. I can't even talk now. Answer the question. Because those are the questions that the people on the Democratic side want to see. They want to see these tough questions answered. They want to see that you can stand on business and say, yeah, I don't agree with that. That was lame. That was wrong of him. We all know the bill was trash. It was a partisan deal that was done. He could have easily said that. It was a partisan deal. Most of these bills and budgets that are passing to keep the government open, it's a bipartisan deal. The Republican Party refused to make it bipartisan, so we shouldn't have voted for it. He could have easily said that, but no. He's too worried about being political and PR. He's too worried about that. He's become the typical Democratic politician. Who cares if it upsets the other side? When Obama was in office and Mitt Romney was giving everyone a hard time, no one said nothing because the Republicans expected that. They expected for the Republicans to do what they needed to do based on their values and their beliefs, and they did that. Even though, Obama was able to get some things done, they gave him a hard time. A hard time. AOC is the only one who was able to come out and go, hey, what Schumer did was wrong. It was wrong. She's on CNN. She went on national television and said it.
Chuck Schumer, I guess the Senate Democratic leader, your senator, said at this meeting that he is going to vote for cloture. He is going to vote to allow there to be a simple majority vote. You think that's wrong?
I believe that's a tremendous mistake. Yes.
Why?
I think, well, first and foremost, the American people, if anyone has held a town hall or has seen what has been happening in town halls, American people, whether they are Republicans, Independents, Democrats, are up in arms about Elon Musk and the actual gutting of federal agencies across the board. For folks who are concerned about effectiveness in government, this Republican extreme spending bill removes all of the guardrails and all of the accountability measures to ensure that money is being spent in the way that Congress has directed for it to be spent. It sacrifices congressional authority, and it is deeply partisan. And so to me, it is almost unthinkable why Senate Democrats would vote to hand the few pieces of leverage that we have away for free when we've been sent here to protect Social Security, protect Medicaid, and protect Medicaid. I think that what we need right now is a united Senate Democratic caucus that can stand up for this country and not vote for cloture and not vote for this bill.
I'm not understanding why the Democratic Party continues to be the party with no spine. Again, this is not about if you agree, if it should shut down, if it was common sense to vote for it or not, because it affected, employees and the government and military. Hey, the Republican side don't care. They're going to do what they want to do. So someone who sits in the middle of the politics and these politicians can see the Democratic Party will continue to be trash. They will continue to take L's unless they get more politicians like these three that you see on the screen right now, male or female. Bernie Sanders, too. Bernie Sanders been doing 8. The senator and governor of Maine, 8. Stand on business, Democrats. If you want to win an election, vote for the way you think you should be voting, not being bought out by the Republican side. I forget old boy name. We'll put a picture of him right now. He is a Republican masquerading as a Democrat. No spine. No spine. When you hear him talk, he talks just like a Republican. It's crazy. People vote these people out. That's not aligned with your values and your beliefs. Vote them out. Stop voting these people in. And that's the problem with the Democratic Party. They're worried about keeping that job and they're pleasing too many different demographics of people. Say what you want. That's my morning rant, man. I just felt like it needed to be said. Wake up, Democrats. Wake up. Wake up. If you want to win an election, wake up early, have a morning cup of Joe, and grow a spine.